Well, good morning, Business 10 students. This is week number 3 in our 16-week class, online class of Introduction to Business here at Norco College. And this week you're going to be looking at Chapter 2 on making ethical decisions and managing a socially responsible business. This kind of ties directly into the discussion post assignment that you're doing right now, looking at Vivian Dames Hunt's TED Talk, where she's talking about, businesses, should they just serve their shareholders or should they really be concerned about all of their stakeholders? So this is where we will be covering kind of the idea of social responsibility and ethics, which is very important. And in fact, your homework assignment, you're going to be developing your own personal code of ethics that you can utilize for your life, for your business, etc. So that's what we'll be looking at this week. Let me go ahead and go to our class here in Canvas so that we can see what our assignments are. I can give you a little recap of last week as well. So here we are in our home screen. We're still in module number 1. We have 2 more weeks, and then we will have our first exam in 2 weeks. So I'm going to click module number 1, and that's going to bring us to, of course, the welcome module, which you've already worked through, and then week number 1 and week number 2, which you did. You looked at chapter 17 in week 1, chapter 1, which was our beginnings of the book itself. We looked at economics and economic systems, which is a very exciting, in my opinion, a very exciting topic to talk about how economics work. And then you did a homework assignment on supply and demand, which hopefully was very eye-opening and helped you to really grasp the concept of supply and demand. I'll be grading those. It's automatically graded for the most part, but I will be grading the final couple of questions. Then you had a quiz on chapter 1. And then you did your first check-in assignment. And by the way, just to explain those, I think I explained it in the last video, but just remember those are really my way of getting you into the textbook as well as making sure that you're understanding key concepts. So I'm directing your attention in those questions to what I think is most important for you to understand. So this is your way of checking into the class weekly. This is my way of basically taking attendance or class participation. And so it's very critical that you do. This assignment is only open for 1 week and it closes and it cannot be reopened. So keep in mind, you got to check in every week and at least do that assignment, even if you're really busy. At least do this one, which does require you to read the chapter and look up some questions. So that's the check-in assignment. Well, we're going to move into week 3. And again, you're going to be looking at chapter 2. So you can read through all of that here. And then you're going to have, again, another check-in assignment on chapter 2. This is directing you to some questions in chapter 2. So open your book, look up the questions, write down the questions and the answer. That's a part of the assignment. If you don't do those, I'll not give you credit, but I will give you a chance to add those later, but do it right away. That way I don't have to bother you and you don't have to bother me. Make sure you put the question and the answer and then the page number, question, answer, page number. You have a homework assignment, very exciting one, developing your own personal code of ethics. So I'm going to select that because it's going to explain to you how to do it. Basically, this is a 150 to 200 word personal code of ethics. It really should be a list of kind of what you consider to be the do's and don'ts for your own life. I do give you some Indeed's website right here. This job searching website will actually give you some pointers on how to develop a code of ethics. It even gives you a couple samples that you can look at. And I think down here, I actually do give you a sample of maybe what your code of ethics can look like. Please don't just copy and paste that, make your own, but that's an example of it. But this is something that you can put together and then it can kind of guide some of your decision making now and in the future. And of course, if you ever run a business, it can kind of be maybe foundational to what you do with your business in the future. So I think it's a very valuable assignment for you to do, and it's something that you can begin to utilize right away in your life. So please don't skip that. Make sure you do that. And then you do have a quiz on chapter 2, and then you're continuing your discussion post that I mentioned already. And you have 2 more weeks to do that. But this is where you're watching the video by Dame Vivian Dame Hunt. And she's talking about whether we should serve just our shareholders or our entire stakeholders. Does a business have a responsibility beyond just the shareholders? And that's really the dilemma and really the question that we're trying to solve and ask. So make sure you watch the TED Talk. It's outstanding. And then make sure you answer the questions and dialogue with other students in our class by doing that. And I have two of them here because there's two sections of this class in the one class, but you can't cross over. So you're going to only talk to students in your section within the discussion post. So, all right, well, that's it for week number 3. If you have any questions or concerns, you can meet me during my office hours. They're posted on the front page of our class in Canvas. It says office hours right on the front page. You can click there and know when I'm available. I'm also available online if that's best for you, which most cases it is. I'm either in my office on campus or I'm online, but you can see when I'm available. If those don't work for you, I do have a booking site, and you can find that both on the communication plan as well as at the bottom of all of the emails I send you. And it's a way you can book another time with me, and it'll you can go in, you can set up a time, and then it'll alert me. And if I can make it, I'll if I can't make it, I'll let you know. If I can make it, I won't say anything, and we'll meet at that time when you schedule the appointment. And it's a Zoom meeting, so we can discuss whatever you need to at that time. So, all right, well, have a great week, and you'll see me on video again next week.